I always thought the boxing would be a really cool thing to film, whether it's just the fast-paced nature of it, so action-packed, and the fact that the gyms always look incredible. So I recently had the chance to shoot a mini documentary all about bare knuckle boxing, which is even more insane than normal boxing. So it involved meeting up with a fighter, filming him whilst he was training, and also shooting an interview. So I thought I'd show you how I did it, and yeah, at the end, you can watch the final result. So starting with the location, I'm sure you know that it can make or break a shoot, and for me, I got really lucky with this gym. Loads of boxing memorabilia all over the walls, some great natural lighting, and yeah, just like a really good old school gritty feel to it. Luckily for me, the light was pouring in through the windows just where I needed it, which allowed me to get some really cool backlit shots. And this is pure chance, by the way, because I didn't get to see the location beforehand, and obviously if it was a rainy day or if I was there a couple hours later, it would have looked totally different. So with these shots that you're seeing, essentially I've just let the fighter continue with their normal training routine, and I'm just moving around with them trying to get a variation of different shots. And you can really see the difference between shots being backlit and front lit. The whole vibe kind of changes. For me as well, because it's a documentary, I don't really mind that it's all naturally lit like this. For me, if it was an advert though, I probably would have choreographed a few different moves and probably brought in my own lighting into this scene. Moving into the interview setup now, essentially we just got into a different room that's a little quieter. I set up my Aperture 120D with the Light Dome 2 attachment, and I found an old gym bench so he could basically have something cool to sit on. And for audio, I've just boomed in my Rode VideoMic NTG, and that is hooked up straight into the camera. So a little trick that I did for this interview was I shot the first half of it wide and then the second half of it close up. For me, I didn't really want it all to have the exact same angle for the interview, but I only had one camera. So this was kind of my way of trying to get different angles and trying to make things a little bit more interesting. Obviously, the downside is you can't cut between the two interviews because it's just not going to work. But for me, I think it just makes it a little bit more engaging. So now that you've seen what went into it, here's the result.
Bare knuckle, you know, you shouldn't get hit. In boxing, you can get jabs, you can even get rights, well, not power, but in bare knuckle it's different, man. Even a small jab gives you cut. So you should be fast, very fast. Just hit and move. And it's completely different when you enter the ring. You touch yourself, it's fucking fist, you know. You have nothing on, so it makes you a little bit worry. But you know, after a first round, after the builds start, you forget, man. You have to just fight. But you don't feel it there, you know. You don't feel it there, but you feel it after the fight. After like an hour, you get swollen face, broken nose, everywhere is. I remember after first fight, I thought nothing happened to me, but in the morning I wake up, I couldn't even wash my face. Boxing is easier, I think. Bare knuckle is real fight, it's for dogs, man. You cannot hit like you hit in professional boxing. You have a gloves and you don't break your knuckles. But in bare knuckle, if you do that, like hit hard and don't aim proper where you wanna hit, and if you just throw, maybe he do that and you hit his head or his elbow. Remember, elbow bones is bigger than your knuckles. You break your hand and you can't fight anymore. It's stop, you're done. And if it stopped, they don't say, oh, you broke, you lost, that's it. So you have to be focused, aim where you wanna hit, be fast, and have that, you know, like snap, just hit and move. You have to have accuracy, otherwise you will hurt yourself. My ambition is to become a greatest fighter, you know, one of the greatest in combat sport, in bare knuckle. Yeah, I want my name when I get older. I want my kids, my grandkids in this country. They say like, oh yeah, that guy, Salim, you know. I want that, you know. I want to be known. I want to be remembered. So to accomplish something. When I was in Afghanistan, I remember it all starts from there. I was a small kid, young guy, but I was lost. We had no future. There was war every time. We moving city to city just to be alive, you know. So I remember the first fight I had in Afghanistan, it was a street fight. I remember that we were in Kabul. It was 2006 or 2007, I think. I don't know the exactly date, but it was around that time. There was American soldiers passing the streets with the big tanks and their cars, you know, the military cars. And there was so much poverty, so we were saying hello and they were throwing chocolates to us, yeah? Yeah, and one day they came, stopped there, their soldiers wanted to talk with kids. And I went to them, I said, I really loved what they gave me, the chocolates. So I asked him to give me more. And he asked me, what do you want to become in future? I said, I want to become boxer. He said, good life, but we end up like real fight with each other. And after that, they separate us. And they gave me chocolates, American chocolates, and I was so happy. So, and fighting is, to be honest, for me, is my life, you know. That's all I know. I always say I'm looking for opportunity, you know. Just give me, with the right sponsorship, with the right camp training, I will fight anybody, anyone at any level. I've been through a lot in my life, you know. It doesn't mean like I had a not good family or bad. No, I had very good family. But the only problem was in there was like war. Seriously, you had to fight for your life. I've seen things that 99% of people haven't seen in here. You know, so fighting, get punched in the face, for me is easier than those things. I've been stabbed, I've been had bomb explosion and things in my back, in my knees, and we had no doctors, you know, no one to treat us. Just we had the herbal things to eat from the trees, the ground, you know, to just recover. That's all. We didn't have the like injection makes you relax and take out those irons from your legs. We didn't have these things there, because everything was destroyed. So we had to accept the pain. I love pain, that's it. I'm used to it. You have to have something inside you to do bare knuckle. Not many people does it. I don't know about others, but my strategy for fighting is just to hurt him, you know. Yeah, just to hurt the guy. You know, I mostly focus on his face. His face, his eyes. So if the eyes is blocked, he can't see. And his nose, his chin. I mainly focus here. Just move and hit. Who hit first? He's the winner, I think. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, man. Bare knuckle.
So if you've made it this far into the video, thank you for your very impressive attention span. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, everything that you just saw was shot in like a 2 or 3 hour time frame, which I think is really cool. Hope that it kind of shows you that you don't need too much time or too much equipment to go out and make something. Of course, a good subject or location can make all the difference, but if you think you've got access to that anyway, then you can make some cool stuff really quickly. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.